what do I do if the guy plays the gioco piano? Wesley has a very stable, very traditional opening repertoire. He plays the Berlin like most of these top guys. And Magnus is going to have to decide if he wants to enter discussions there or by playing 1d4 where Wesley can do multiple things. He plays a Grunfeld. He can play these Queen's Gambit positions as well, combined with a Nimzo. So not an easy guy to catch out in the opening. But I have a feeling Magnus is just going to stick to his guns. Go e4, knight f3, bishop c4. Yet again, try to get a tiny edge there. Wesley is proven to be extremely solid though, so it won't
So
be
we are gonna start now.
This is a live stream. Which opening to choose?
not a very
For
motivated
d4,
handshake,
d5,
I like. Do we really have to
c4,
start already? He does go for d4.
c3.
We get a Slav.
It's feeding also here. Let's go to the live stream.
Magnus normally doesn't enter the complications with knight c3, dc4, or e6. Plays a slower line, e3, bishop g4. That typically leads to white having the two bishops while black has a rock solid structure. Knight h4 is working on that project. He's trying to catch this bishop. And it is all highly theoretical territory. Both these guys look bored executing the opening moves. It's all theory. Bishop g2, one of the main moves here. g5 is a very typical way to handle this structure because you don't want to run into white going g5 gaining space here. So you fix this and then you try to deploy your pieces. Knight bd7. Sometimes you castle by hand, go king f8, g6, king g7. Sometimes you go for dc4 followed by knight d5. It's not easy to gain an advantage here, but Magnus Carlsen has something he normally enjoys, the two bishops and a board full of pieces, so he can play slowly and try to build on that. He castles kingside, which I'm not sure, yeah, after going bishop g2 that's probably what you do, but very often in these lines you see white going for bishop d2 and long castles. Wesley So still seems to be in book. Doesn't really hesitate about any of his moves.
Yeah, he hasn't used almost any time. Wesley So still has more than 5 minutes. With the 2-second increment, he managed to build up some time there, while Magnus Carlsen has used at least half a minute.
One fine thing about this line that you normally have this Mexican standoff here between the two queens neither side wants to capture, because queen b3, ab improves white structure, while queen takes b6. Both AB and knight takes b6 tend to help black. After knight takes b6, white is forced to break the tension here, which he doesn't really want to. AB gets the rook into play. So typically neither side is going to take, and we see Wesley now avoiding the queen exchange actively by going queen to c7. This is preparing another typical move, knight to b6, forcing white to reveal what he wants to do with his tension. Because cd5, even ed5, normally this clarification helps black. Well, if white goes c5, it would be nice if he had time to build up an attack here, but normally he's too slow and black gets counterplay with either e5 or b6. It's pretty standard stuff.
It looks as if he would be looking at the white king, but I believe that knight takes g4 never works. It's only a check on h2. The g2 bishop will defend the white king very well, so that's just something to check, but it doesn't work.
No, Magnus has to decide if he,
e4, knight takes e4 is on the board, knight takes e4, d takes e4. And after bishop takes, this position is opening up for the pair of bishops.
Yeah, Carlsen won a very similar structure against Nakamura in London a while back, where he didn't get much out of the opening, but then later managed to simplify the position by going d5 and exploit his pair of bishops. But in general, this structure is supposed to be extremely solid for black, so it's still a lot of work for the world champion to make something happen. Just to worry about his h report, so he retreats his bishop, also preparing d5 without having to be concerned about knight to c5.
Very exciting, guys. Wesley So now is ahead on time.
It's clear to me how black should arrange his pieces. It would be nice to have
Wesley So is concentrating deeply here.
either h4 or f4. But if you start this journey, you have to be very, very sure the opening of the center does not kill you long before the knight arrives on h4.
It
F4.
might kill you. It seems to be fast. d5 is in the air, so he castles kingside instead of knight f8.
Yeah, he gets his king out of the way, which is sensible, but now, of course, he's a long way from getting this knight to its best square. And it feels like Magnus, with his very timely e4, has managed to create a bit of an initiative. Still, I hesitate to say he's better, because I'm not sure how realistic it is to break through in the center here. It's a little harder for black to maneuver. You gotta keep an eye on the g5 pawn, else such a maneuver would be nice, but I don't know how to implement that. it's not obvious where this knight is going. E6, it can always be bothered with a4, a5. So Wesley correctly decides to wait, go rook e8. And then, well, Magnus probably is not in a hurry. That's going to build his position up for the rook on c1.
Let's
Yeah,
check
so
the
what happened?
actual
Tiny advantage
stream
for
of the
Magnus
moves on the other page.
There is still everything to play for.
I can't really make the exact position here because of the live commentaries. So here, Wesley So is thinking he has 3.3 seconds to go, while Magnus still has more than 3 minutes. Sorry, he has less than 3 minutes to go, while Magnus has more than 3 minutes. And here it's Wesley's turn to move. It's a critical position that has to be decided after Magnus made the move rook ac1. That's just lag time there. The moves have refreshed. Wesley is setting up a trap here. If rook takes d8, then rook takes d8, and if bishop... Oh! Magnus has fallen for the trap. Oh no, it's not a trap because of a rook c8 and check on bishop e4. So it's really not a trap there. So Wesley has other things in mind. He would be able to recover the pawn at b2. Is it really that Wesley is only 6 seconds? Yes, it's true. Wesley is only 6 seconds here. Wesley lost the game.
Resigns, so Magnus Carlsen increases his lead to, that will mean how many
Wesley So lost this one.